Okay, so I was explaining the Tryhackme platform that you just need to go to tryhackme.com. And when you go there, create an account by clicking on the join now. If you already have an account, you can go in by logging in, right? So in today's class, like what I said before, we are going to look at, working with the Tryhackme platform, and then look at a particular tool, the Nexus, that is used mostly, it's used for vulnerability scanning, right? So those are the two things we'll be doing today. So at first, I'm looking at the Tryhackme platform, which I have an account with. So I'll just log into my account and then show us around. So you can go ahead and create an account on this platform so that you can use it for your hands-on, right? So when you navigate to the Tryhackme or you log into the Tryhackme platform, what is expected of us to do is to come to the learn, because most times the platform is where you meet other experts that you face challenges and see how you can conquer some challenges, and you can even get paid for back hunting rather. So initially it started as a platform where we come and compete on your hacking skill, where it's like a gaming hub. You come and compete with other guys on how to solve tasks and all of those things before they now develop the part whereby you can actually learn, right? So if you come to the platform, don't go to the compete or other, go to the tab learn tab. So in the learn tab, you will see a lot of courses, a lot of courses. Actually, just like I told us that started the class, this is actually like, a secret, right? To most hackers. Most hackers will not tell you where they are coming to get their skill set, right? So the Tryhackme platform has everything you need to know to become an ethical hacker. Everything you need to know to become a red teamer, a penetration tester, a cyber defender, a SOC analyst, right? A CompTIA pen tester, right? An offensive pen tester, and also web fundamentals, right? So you can see all of the courses that you have here to do. Now, these courses doesn't come, unpaid for, right? So you have to pay for some of them, but it's very, very cheap, right? I think about $10 or thereabout, some of the courses, $10 to $12 or thereabout, right? So it's not even one course you are paying that money for. If you pay the money, the $10 to $12, you have access to all of these courses. You have access to all of these courses that are here. So you can see from my dashboard, I think I've done something about introduction to cybersecurity. I've done something around junior penetration tester. I've finished the pre-security. I've also done something around cyber defense. You can see the progress level there. I think these are things I did like 2 or 3 years ago, right? You can see progress part for this course. Which course is that? That's SOC level. You can see progress for offensive penetration testing. You can see progress for CompTIA penetration testing. And you can see progress for web fundamentals. Now, plays and plays. I want to play with all of us. This place or this platform is not a place you come and joke or play, right? It's something that you have to take it very serious, because if you are subscribing, the subscription is actually monthly. So when you are subscribing, you make sure you give yourself time, right, to go through these courses. You make sure you give yourself time to go through these courses. Now, some of them are actually free of charge, right? So, and it's expected that whether you have money or not, you should be able to complete at least the pre-security, which is this, the pre-security learning part, which is this. You can see the courses here are free of charge, right? So in case you don't have any prior knowledge, you can come here and learn about cybersecurity, what offensive and defensive cybersecurity is. So like most of us that did our masters in cybersecurity, in the school, this course gives you a kind of path to follow, because most times when you go to some universities or you go to school to learn cybersecurity, they don't teach you cybersecurity. They only tell you, I don't really know how they even put it, right? So most times it's good you go to platforms like this and understand what cybersecurity really is, so that when you're talking, you will be grounded in what you are saying, right? So these are the few parts or the two major aspects that cybersecurity can be seen from, right? The offensive side and the defensive side. Then you can look at careers, various careers in cybersecurity. Most times, cybersecurity is not always about, hardware or hard coding, right? I know this our course is about hard coding. Like I told you, it's a crash course crash course for ethical hacking, right? But we need to, see some of these things, because if you understand this platform very well, then you'll be able to, do your hacking very well, right? So you can look at all of the courses that are there. If you click on the drop down arrow, it opens up all of the courses that are there for you. How the web works also, because normally as an hacker, these are the basic knowledge you need. You need to know how the internet works, how the World Wide Web works, right? You need to have a first-hand knowledge about networks, right? And you also need to understand operating systems, because those are the three major things you need to know as a cybersecurity expert, as an hacker, right? And let me also tell us this. The whole idea of cybersecurity came about the fact that people started hacking things, right? So how do you now prevent people from hacking things? Cybersecurity. So forget the whole definition about cybersecurity today that we have as an all-encompassing aspect to prevent all of these things from happening. Started from the fact that people started hacking things, developing viruses to take over a system and all whatnot, right? So that is where it starts from. So if you don't understand how networks work, how web work, how operating system interact with things, you will not be a good hacker. So that is why we are exposing us to this platform, so that we come here and get foundational knowledge of what it takes, right? And you can also look at the Linux fundamentals. I believe if you really go through, or you cannot go through all through the learning parts in the CompTIA InfoSec, right? You can come here and learn Linux from here also, right? So you can come here and learn Linux from here also. It's actually very sweet and beautiful to learn Linux from here. Why I actually introduced us to the InfoSec platform at first is so that we can get that certificate, the Linux Plus Plus certificate. That's a certificate that even if you want to do some remote jobs, the organization will even want you to present such certificates, right? Those certificates they stand the test of time, right? Even certificates from here, but most times the certificates from here for me is not about the certificate, but the skill set itself, because on this platform, you tend to learn the skill set itself, like makes it part of you. So this platform helps all of these things you are learning to be part of you, right? So you see it as it is. You can decide to run it on your own machine or on the platform, right? So go ahead and learn Linux if you want to, and then Windows. At times, most of us, what we just know how to do is maybe know how to open your Windows operating system, know how to type in it, know how to format, and that's all, right? Or maybe at worst, some of us that knows how to program, we install programming IDs and start writing code and all whatnot, right? But the Windows operating system, with all of this usage we are using the Windows operating system is not even up to 5% of the capacity or capabilities that the Windows operating system can be used for. So in this Windows fundamentals, we have it in detail, what you need to know about your Windows operating system, how to navigate the Windows operating system, because you are really not using it. We are really not using the Windows operating, and that is why even when I'm in the office and somebody is giving me tasks to do that has to do with Microsoft Word and all of those things, I tend to it tend to make me feel like these people don't know, or this person don't know what the Windows operating system really is, right? So you have to explore it and really understand what the Windows operating system really is. So in the prerequisite, right, I think this prerequisite is actually free. Since my account is this way, I don't know, you create your account and check. It's actually supposed to be free, the prerequisite, right? And if it's not free, just know that it's not expensive. You can see £12 per month. I think they have even increased the price. When we paid, I think when I paid or did mine some years back, it was about $10, right? $10 per month. So it's quite cheap. And when you pay that, you have access to a lot of things. You have access to a lot of things. Please, if you want to be a guru, if you want to be an expert, please come to the Tryhackme learning path. I'm not marketing for them, but I know that it is what has helped me as a person over time. There are a lot of them. There's Let's Defend. There's AX1. There are so many of them, but all of them have, a particular area they are good with. So the part that you need as an hacker is the Tryhackme platform. And the moment you can take 1, 2, 3 courses, you yourself, you will testify that you are actually doing well, right? So let's go ahead, take that course and read through, do the practice. So let me just look at one of the stuffs that we can do so that you understand how to deploy it. For instance, if we are looking, okay, want to take a course on Linux Fundamentals Part 1, for instance. So this is how it looks like, right? So you can come here, you see there might be a video for you to watch to know what you need to do. But I don't always encourage you to go through the videos, although those of us that are lazy can still go through the videos, but I don't always encourage people to go through the videos. I will always encourage you to read through the task, right? Read through the task and then carry out the tasks that you need to carry out. So most times on this platform, it's all about carrying out tasks. It's all about thinking. It's all about reasoning, just as an hacker will reason. Although there will be write-ups that will explain concepts to you or for you, right? And then you get your hands dirty with doing things. So it's not about the talking. So for instance, if you are looking at this, right, the first part here, it will just give you a brief introduction on what the learning part is all about. Welcome to the first part of Linux, whatever. So read through. And when you get to the part where they say, answer the question below, if there's no question, like this part now is saying no answer needed. So you just check this button where we have the question done. Normally it won't be like this on your own. Please, you can go ahead and open and log into an account, right? You can go ahead and create an account, a Tryhackme account, right? Or let me try to see how I can toggle between screens. Okay, that will take a little time for me. So, but whichever way, just go ahead, do that, create an account on Tryhackme and then look at it, right? So after you do that, the next task will be you see, they are broken into tasks, right? It will be that, okay, you read through what is here and then you answer the question that you will be asked. So it's all about you are reading and you're answering questions immediately. So you're carrying out tasks and you're solving the task immediately, right? So this is quite simple because it's all about reading. But there will be a part where you will have to, do the task, use your hand and do a particular task, and then get the answer and put in the box before you now check the box, right? And check if it is correct or not. So that will be our task for this week, to at least do that of the prerequisite, right? The pre-security learning part, right? So there are a lot of learning parts there. So the security learning part is what we are going to do this week. Then the Tryhackme machine, it also comes with a machine. You see, when you start, it will show you how to go about that, right? So just like we have in the other platform, there are tasks that warrant you to start a machine. So when you click on start the machine, you see that the machine it will boot, right? So if the machine boots up, you can carry out any type of task that you are asked to carry out here, right? So while I'm doing this, I'm still going to log into maybe a different account and then show us how to go about some of these things. But from my account here, you can see that I have done some tasks, although it's been long I visited it, but I was able to do some of these tasks and I finished them, right? So running your first few commands, just like we ran in the InfoSec learning part, right? So this is basic, actually. Searching for files, what are the commands you use to search for files, right? And then you shell operators, introduction to shell operators, echo password into this, cat welcome, all of those commands that you need to know, right? You'll be taught here also. So you can navigate to the next learning part here, right? So that is how you actually make use of the Tryhackme learning parts or Tryhackme platform. So I'm still going to expose us to a little more things about it. Maybe I'll use an account that is not subscribed or an account that is empty, and then we can, go over this together. So let me pause this machine, or let me terminate the machine so that I can, I can log out now and log in with a new account where we'll have these things undone so that we can look at them, how they are done, right? So let me see if I can log into this other account that I created and stored here. So this platform is actually very good. Very, very, very good. It's a platform that I give over 80% to. And if I like you, anybody that comes to me and I like you, I really want you to learn, this is the first place I recommend you to, right? And that is why I'm bringing it to this class, because I like all of us and I want us to really get these things right, get these skill sets, right? Okay, so this is another account that is not my personal account, right? So, and if you notice, the person has not done anything on this, right? So, well, the person started, but she has not really done anything. So the progress is even 0, right? So let's look at it. So like I told us, we come to learn, right? When you come to learn, you will see all the learning paths that are here, the available learning paths. So please, for this week, I would like us to look at this, the introduction to cybersecurity, which is just very short, and then the pre-security learning part, right? Now, like this, if you come to the introduction to cybersecurity, this is free, right? So like I told us, from what I read or from what we saw from the other one, if you come here, you read through and answer the question. If you answer the question, that box will be ticked for it, right? So let's see what they have here. So it said hacking your first machine. That is the task they have here. Hacking your first machine. Intro to offensive security. And the task number 1 is hacking your first machine. So let's just do this together. So before going into cybersecurity careers and what offensive security is, let's get you hacking. And yes, it is legal. All exercises are fake simulation. So all the exercises that you are doing on this platform are simulations, but they are fake in the sense that you are not crossing, you are not moving out of this platform. The whole thing is not moving out of this platform, but the knowledge is needed, right? Because like I told us from when we started, the moment you do anything that moves over your system to another system, it becomes illegal. But when you are doing it within your system, it is legal, right? So what they are saying here is, since you are doing it within this machine or within the platform, it is legal, right? So they say your first hack, click the Start Machine button. Once loaded in a split view in your browser, you will have access to the machine you will use to hack a fake bank application called Fake Bank. If you don't see the machine appear, use the blue Show Split view button on the top right. So let's go ahead and start the machine. So what they are doing here, it's actually a simulation. So they want to mimic what should happen in a real life situation, how to hack a machine in a real life situation. So what they are simulating here is, for instance, how to hack a bank, right? So let the machine come up. We'll do that. So they are simulating how to hack a bank, and the name of the bank is Fake Bank, right? So it's just like a simulation. You are just learning something. So they are simulating a bank and how it is, right? So if you don't, okay, we will use a command line application called GoBuster. So they are using a tool. If you go to your Linux machine on a normal, GoBuster is one of the tools on your Linux machine. So now, while we are doing all of these things, please take notes. Any tool, right, or a command that you are asked to use, always take note of them, write them in your book, because those commands, you can find them anywhere. And the same thing they are doing here is what they are doing, they can do anywhere, right? So GoBuster is a tool, is a particular command, right? Now, they say we want to use it. If you look at our instruction, they say we will use a command line application called GoBuster to brute force the fake bank website to find hidden directories and pages. GoBuster will take a list of potential page or directory names and tries accessing a website with each of them. If the page exists, it will tell you. So that is what GoBuster does. Naturally, that is what GoBuster does. So even if I hit up my machine, let me share my entire screen so that if I'm navigating, you will get to see what I am navigating. Okay, please confirm you can still see my screen. Binta.
Yes, sir, we can see your screen.
Okay, so let me navigate. So even if I hit up my machine and then try to run GoBuster. So most times, most of these tools are embedded tools that comes with our Kali Linux, right? So even if they are not there, you can go ahead and install them. I believe by now everybody knows how to install on Kali Linux, because if you have done the tasks on the InfoServe platform, then you should know how to install on Kali Linux. Please, if you have not done it, go back and do them, because you can actually still do them on the Tryhackme platform, because you really need this knowledge. You need the knowledge of operating system. In fact, that is key into every hacker, because you just need to understand operating systems, right? So go and do that. And the certificate is actually a good one. You can use it to present it. You can present it anywhere also. So while that is coming up, let's go ahead with what we are doing here. So GoBuster is a tool, like I told us, is a powerful tool. It can be used for a brute force attack. So those of us that know what brute force attack is, please know that you can use Go Buster. There are so many of the busters. There's directory buster. You can use it also to bust several directories on a website, right? So, but in this task, we'll be using Go Buster, right? So, and also, like I told us, okay, maybe after, since this course is like a crash course for hacking, maybe after this, like I told us from the beginning, we'll be doing a general cybersecurity course whereby we'll be touching other things that we are not touching in this class, right? So let's continue. So use GoBuster, they say it will take a list of potential page or directory names and tries to access it on this website with each of them. If there's anyone that exists, it will tell us, right? So they are now saying open a terminal, also known as your command line, which allows us to interact with a computer without using a graphical user interface on the machine. Open a terminal user interface on your machine. So they want you to open a terminal user interface on this machine that we have, started up here, right? First of all, let me extend the machine to another screen. So if you want to do that, you can just look at this arrow button that is here, the two-sided arrow. You click on it, it will put the screen on full, it put the machine on full view, right? So I'll now close here so that we can have here also full. I have the machine here and I have my task here. So I just divided my screen into two, right? So they say we should open a command line, right? We should open a command line interface here. So that is what we are going to do on our machine, right? So let's see. This is the website. So let's go ahead and open the command line interface, which is this. Let's just open it from here. I believe by now everybody knows what this does or what I am doing when we are playing around with Kali Linux, right? So this is what they say we should do, open a command line interface. So you go through the steps. They say find hidden website pages. So they are telling you most companies will have an admin portal because now what they are doing is, or what we are trying to do is, when somebody develop a website, you have several pages on the website, right? You have several pages on the website. So there are pages that, can store, admin privileges or password or stuff like that, right? On a particular page, and it might be on that your website, right? Although nobody sees it, but when you use a tool like GoBuster, it will brute force the website to fetch all of those directories or pages that you have. So that is what we want to do now. So we have a website. We have accessed the website. Fakebank.com is the name of the website. So just like maybe I go to a website and I get the actual name of that website, or even any name of the website, right? So I want to use GoBuster to fetch out all the directories of this website. This is how the website looks like, for instance, right? So they say we should, okay, most companies will have an admin page portal, giving their staff access to basic admin controls for day-to-day operations. For a bank, an employee might need to transfer money to and from client account, just like the normal daily activities that we do. Often, these pages are not made private, allowing attackers to find hidden pages that show or give access to admin controls or sensitive data. Type the following command into the terminal to find potential hidden pages on fake bank's website using GoBuster, right? So we have opened a terminal. Just know that if you want to use GoBuster, this is the format of using GoBuster. Now, if you also look at this, there's also a text file here. That is the word list text file, right? Now, a word list, what is a word list? Most of us we must have been hearing of dictionary attacks, right? So a word list is like a list of words, different types of words, different combinations that are created, and attackers use them most times to do a brute force. For instance, you can say, okay, your name is Peter, and your password is Peter 12345 hash, right? So an attacker can decide to start creating word lists that will start with A, AB, AC, AD, in those type of ways, right? So it can have a particular word list that contains over 1 billion types of combination of names, of alphabet numbers and special characters, right? And that is why most times they advise you to have those three combined, because when you have those three combined and they are up to 8, it takes the attacker close to over 1 million years for this type of attack to happen, for a brute force type of attack to happen. So that's why we encourage people, if you want to create, your password, it should be at least above 8, or presently they are recommending above 12, because there are actually machine learning techniques that can crack that in less than those period of time. So at least it should be above 12 and should be a combination of alphabet, numbers, and special character, because most times when they create word lists like this, if it's run through your website, or your maybe a particular website, just to guess your name and your password, or if somebody gets your email and wants to match this with your password, it will be easy for that person to, the attacker to do that. So this is a word list, right, that is added here, right? And what is here is showing that, okay, this is a website, right? And then this is a directory, is you are searching for directories. So that is what is written here. So if, for instance, you want to learn more about GoBuster, what is the command you use? You can man GoBuster on your device and then learn about it. But this machine is pre-configured for this particular task. So if we man it, or let's go ahead and man it and see if it will give us, informations about man go buster. So no manual entry for go buster, right? So let's clear the screen, right? Let's just do the tasks that we are asked to do. So first of all, you call the tool, right? You call the tool that you want. After calling the tool that you want, you go ahead and add other things, right? GoBuster is the tool that you want. So it has other options, right? Options or features, just like we used to see in other tools, right? But let's see, our calendar is up. Let's see if we have GoBuster here. So if you don't have it, you can still go ahead and install it, or you go ahead and install, DR Buster, right? Let's see GoBuster. So you see, GoBuster not found, but you can install with sudo apt install GoBuster, right? So I can go ahead and install GoBuster, unable to install. So maybe if the thing is unable to install, you can still go ahead and, Google to know why, if maybe they have stopped supporting this particular operating system, you can, or they have changed the name, you can go ahead and, search about that, right? GoBuster, right? So let's see DR Buster. So they do almost the same thing. So I think the DR Buster is there, right? So directory buster, GoBuster. So directory buster is there. So you specify directory buster, you can see directory buster have started. So I can put my target URL. This one is more or less like a GUI. I think this is what is outfacing the GoBuster, because GoBuster is what we use those days, right? So this is actually facing out the GoBuster, right? So you can actually use the directory buster even with the command, just like you use GoBuster with the command. You can use that and then carry out your task, right? So you can go ahead, put in the website you want to bust and fetch their directory, and then you start the directory buster also. So if in the directory buster, just like what we see, if we say, okay, let me see, I want to do this for Google, though I'm not doing it, but let's just say we want to do something for, let's say, facebook.com, right? So, I definitely will have my word list registered. Now, every Linux machine comes with with the word list, right? So even if you look at my applications, let's see, I think favorite, you should have word list around. Well, let's just search for it. So the word list, every system comes with a word list, right? So that's my word list. These are several types of word lists, right? We have several types of word lists here. So you can see what is used for with Metasploit. You can see the dir buster I was talking about, right? You can see the file location or file paths of that word list. So there are a lot. When I say there are a lot, it means as in there are a lot of word lists. Some are over 1 billion words, right? So you have to add it up. You have to call it up and then make use of it. You can still go online and download, um, you know, um, several word lists, right? Because there are some people that have designed theirs maybe as as technology grows, people tends to add more knowledge to some of these things, right? So you can decide to browse to a particular location. This is user share and mask. I can decide to take any of them. Let's say this is the location I want to browse to. So I can decide to browse to this. Um, let's see, where's the user? So I go back. I'm trying to access user, share, um, to share. So we have user share dirb. We have dirb here. So let me open this. dirb for directory. D dirb. So this, what I'm opening here, all these files you are seeing are different types of word lists, are folders containing different types of word lists, actually. So you can go ahead, use any of them to do whatever you want to do. dir. So this is it. So this is the word list. You can see these are actually folders, right? So I can decide to, and now if I open that folder, I have several texts. They are all text files, right? They are all text files. So I can say, okay, let me use this. For instance, I've selected this part. So I can go ahead and start. If I just click on start now, it will start testing all of the list, all of the items in this word list, to test it on this website to see how it can fetch the directories, the different pages. By different pages, those of us that are web developers or web designers, we understand what pages are like. When you design a website, you have the index page, the home page, about us page, this, all the ones, both the hidden pages and the open pages, the ones that are everybody can see. This the directory buster or go buster tries to fetch them out. So that is what they do typically, right? You can just click on start and you say your target is not a valid URL. Sorry, let me make it valid. I'll just put the HTTPS, and I put the colon and then slash slash. Then you can add the www dot, right? So, and you click on start. So it starts fetching through, start scanning through all that you are doing, all the whole thing on Facebook, right? I'll go ahead and stop that because it is actually not ethical to do that, right? So I'm going to stop that. But I just want you to understand how this thing works, right? Even while stopping it that way, you can see it has already started fetching information, right? So all this, I just use this to show us how these things work, right? But let's go back to our task. Our task is saying we should use GoBuster and then do this command that they have here for our face bank. And we use the word list dir. So they have a word list there. The word list.txt. So we should use that. So let's go ahead. You know, like we told us, this is a pre-configured platform, right? So if you are using any of them, you can do your -u, then you specify the domain, the domain that you want to scan through, then -w, the word list, then the type of scan you want to do. So let's go ahead and do that. -u, we say is a fake bank. Remember to put the name complete, http fakebank.com. So dash what? -w, word list .txt and dir, right? So when you do that, it will scan through, the website and bring out that information, right? So it scans through the website. You see it is scanning. You can see the progress of the scan. So from the ones we have seen, we notice that okay, there's this part /image. There's also this part /bank transfers, right? So these are several pages on the website, right? It's even showing us, giving us other information, status code, the thread and all these things, right? So it's telling us or showing us the number of pages that we have. So for instance, an attacker that are finished scanning, where he will be targeting will not be images, right? It will be targeting the parts that have something to do with bank transfer because that is where he is interested, right? That's where he is interested. So that is what he will be targeting, right? So let's go ahead and see what more they were asking us to do, right? So let's say, okay, they said we should type this and we type that and we got our own answers also, right? Okay, let's continue. You see, in the command above, -u is used to state the website you are scanning, right? -w takes a list of words to iterate. So the list of words is what we refer to as the word list, right? To iterate through to find the hidden pages. You will see that GoBuster scans the website with each word in the list, finding pages that exist on the site. GoBuster will have told you the pages it found in the list of page/directory name, right? So indicate by status 200. So you can see, just like we saw, we got this and this, right? So now they say you should go ahead and hack the bank. That's the step 3. So you should have found a secret bank transfer page that allows you to transfer money, right, between accounts at the bank. That's a /bank transfer. Type the hidden page into the fake bank website on the machine, right? So if you want to do that, we have gotten a page here, right? So what we'll just do is to come here and say, okay, we'll just add a /bank transfer, right? So you see, it has taken us to a portal where we can actually uh, transfer money from one location to another. Initially, there was no way for us to access this particular location. But when we use GoBuster, we now discover that, okay, there's actually a location that is on this page or this website that we are unable to access, right? So let's follow the instruction and see what happens, right? So we, he said, okay, you should have found a secret bank transfer page that will allow you to transfer money between accounts at the bank, which is this page. type the hidden page on the website, which we have done. This page allows an attacker to steal money from any bank account, which is a critical risk for the bank. As an ethical hacker, you would, with permission, find vulnerabilities in the application and report them back to the bank to fix a hacker's to the bank to fix before other hackers get it. So they say you should transfer $2,000 from bank account this to your account number, which is this. So since we are following their instructions, let's do that. $2,000 from this account, 2276 to 8881. So the bank account you are sending from is 2267, right? 2276 rather. Right? And the account you are sending to is 8881, right? 8881. And they say you should send $2,000, right? So let's do that. So we send this money, $2,000. So they are saying, okay, success transfer completed. You have successfully completed the transfer. Here are the details for reference. This, and all of this, right? So let's look at their instruction again. You say, okay, answer the question below. If your transfer was successful, you should now be able to see your new balance reflected on your account page. Go there now and confirm you got the money you need. You may need to hit refresh for the changes to appear. Above your account balance, you should now see a message indicating the answer to this question. Can you find the answer you need? Let's see that. Okay, we have successfully done that. So let's refresh the page. So you can see, congratulations, you hacked the bank. The answer to the Tryhackme question is bank hacked, right? So you take this as your answer now and go to your Tryhackme page, and then you put it as your answer there, right? Bank hack, and you submit. You notice that, okay, whoops, your answer is correct. So this is a process that is involved in the Tryhackme. You carry out a task like this, right? And you get what we call the flag, because this answer now is referred to as the flag, right? So you get the flag and you come and drop it, and you mark it will show you if your answer is correct or not. So it's actually something that you have to be engaged in. You have to engage yourself. You have to think, right? And then carry out this task. So if you were a penetration tester or security consultant, this is an exercise you will perform for companies to test for vulnerabilities in their web applications, find hidden pages to investigate for vulnerability. So like this one now, you see they say no answer needed. That's to say there's no question for you to answer here. So you just go ahead and hit completed, right? And if you look at the third one also, they say terminate the machine by clicking the red terminate button at the top of the page, which is this. So we can go ahead and terminate the machine, right? When you do that, you come and click completed, right? So that is how the process is. Now, we have successfully hacked a bank, a simulated bank. So I believe with this, you also have learned something or learned what to do, right? I will not say it, right? But I believe we know what I'm saying, right? So this is how these tasks are being carried out, right? So you can still go ahead, read the next one, and then if there are tasks for you to carry out, you carry them out, right? So you can see this one is just a description of what offensive security is. So it's a process of breaking into computers, exploiting software bugs, finding loopholes in application to gain unauthorized access. So this is offensive, right? This is what offensive security actually is. And this is where most hackers find themselves, right? So to beat a hacker, you need to behave like a hacker, right? Finding vulnerabilities and recommending patches before a criminal does, as we did in this room. Just like we did, we actually hacked, right? But since we are ethical now, you have to do it and then maybe report to the organization to, block it before maybe an hacker hacks that or gets access to what we have done, something like this. So when you are doing these things, just like we told us, we have our indemnity, right? That will prevent us from you involving us in any of your things. So you are liable to whatever you do with the skill sets you are going to learn, right? But it's best when you get any of these things, right? It's good you write to the organization, inform them of the loopholes so that they can block it. Don't go and exploit them, right? Although that is what offensive security is. So on the flip side, there is also defensive security, which is the process of protecting an organization's network and and computer systems by analyzing and securing any potential digital threats. So you can learn more about that in digital forensic room. So in a defensive cyber role, you could be investigating infected computers or device to understand how it was hacked. Those of us that are investigators, this is what we always do, right? So whenever there is a hack or an infection on systems, we investigate them, forensically extract them, analyze, and know what happens on them. And this is what forensic is actually about when we talk of computer forensic or digital forensic, or if you're in the cyber security, balance, or you are doing anything forensic around the cyberspace. This is what we are referring to when you are able to, investigate a system to know what actually happened in the system, right? Or what that system was used to do. That is forensic. So in a defensive cyber role, you could be investigating infected computers or devices to understand how it was hacked, tracking down criminals, or monitoring infrastructure of malicious activities, right? So that is what offensive and defensive is like. So there are no questions here. They just say we should read above, and we have read it, and I clicked here, correct answer, right? So here you have various careers, and you can see the two tasks we have finished. You can notice that they are checked, right? Here we have various careers, so you can know where to fit in, right? You know where to fit in actually. So people often wonder how others become hackers or defenders. And the answer is simple: break it down. Learn an area of cybersecurity you are interested in. So even when we say this is a crash course for hacking, definitely it is not everybody that will be able to withstand it, right? Which is fine. So it is what you think you can really grasp that you will go for, right? A regular practice using hands-on exercises, right? Especially those of us that are interested in um, in 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 hacking. You have to involve yourself and practice regularly, right? Do hands-on exercises regularly. So build a habit of learning a little bit each day on Tryhackme, and you acquire the knowledge, just like I have told us. So trust us, you can do it. Just take a look at some of the people who have used Tryhackme to get their first security job, right? So these are people that have used it. So these are their testimonies. You can go ahead and read them. So what careers are there? You can also look at it. We have penetration testers, red teamers, security engineers. So penetration testers are also testing technology products for finding exploitable security vulnerabilities. Red teamer play the role of an adversary attacking an organization and providing feedback from an enemy's perspective. Security engineer to design, monitor, and maintain security controls, network, and systems to help prevent cyber attacks. So these are several, career paths in cybersecurity. As you progress, you will see some more career path. So when I finish that, to just say congratulations, and that's all. I think this is just one of the only free, because others they are free, but there are some you will have to pay for, right? There are some you will have to pay for. So this is one of the many, right? This is one of the many. We are still in the introduction to cybersecurity. So this task is just, or this whole part, learning part, that is introduction to cybersecurity. What we have done, the first module is intro to offensive security. That is what we have done, right? So you can still go back to your learning and then go to that intro to cybersecurity and continue other parts, right? You can see the intro to cybersecurity. What we just did is just 11%. So you can go there and continue, right? Continue other parts on it. So you can see that our, what's it called? Intro to offensive security is done. So you can go ahead, look at intro to defensive security, careers. These are where you look at the major careers. Initially we just talked about three. Those three careers we talked about are careers under offensive security. So even now, I think they have actually locked all of this. So you have to pay. Wow, these guys have really, come up. They have increased a lot of things here. Then when we were doing them, it's just $8. But I think so many people have been coming in, and that is why it is becoming more expensive. And when we did it, this part also was free. Everything on the introduction to cybersecurity, we are all free, right? So go ahead, subscribe to the platform. It is actually a beautiful platform. You can see from the little we did, when we looked at defense, you notice that actually it's something that you will really enjoy when you subscribe to it, right? So you really enjoy it. Just try and subscribe. There are actually some free courses also here. If you want to take, tools by tools, there are actually free courses you can take, and then get to learn about the whole platform, right? So we'll move ahead because our time is fast spent. So we'll move ahead. Let's see if we can get the tool that we want to introduce to us today is called Nexus. 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 So Nexus is actually a tool used for vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, right? We have seen DIRO or GoBuster, how it is used. Another tool we look at is Nexus. Nexus is used for VAPT, that's vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. So first of all, let me say that it is actually used for scanning, to scan a network to determine what is actually wrong, the vulnerabilities that are available in that network. Let me see if we have any course on Nexus here. Let's see if we have any course on Nexus. So I think there should be courses on Nexus, right? So there's a course on Nexus. I don't know, maybe it's whether it's free or not. So I think it's actually free, right? So there's a course on Nexus. There's a practical training on Nexus, how to install it on Kali Linux and how to carry out your first scan. So I think on this part, they have, this is the Nexus to how it looks like, right? So we can even still use this for our practice, right? But before we do that, let's walk us on how to get Nexus. Although I think reading from here too, you can know how to get Nexus on your system, because it's actually a tool that is very expensive. So a trial version is, before you are given a trial version, you need to use an official email to access it. So it's a tool from tenable.com, right? You can see it. Tenable.com. So it's actually very expensive, but I think there's a free version that you can use for your practice. The only thing is the free version only scans a few IP range, right? So even there was a time I had to do a BAPT for Jais Bank, uh, and I was to use Nexus. Well, what I was having was the free one until I got the licensed version. I couldn't scan the whole network. I think the free version will just allow you scan a network with a range of just 7 IP addresses. But if you get the paid one, it allows you scan a large number of of the network. So let me just go to the Tenable website, right? So this is Tenable website where you can get Nexus. So there's Nexus Professional and there's Nexus Expert. So the thing is just to type tenable.com. These are the owners of Nexus, right? So tenable.com. So just go there, you see all their products and all what they do, right? So Nexus Professional and Nexus Expert, you can see what they come for. So the expert is for consultant, penetration testers, developers, SMBs, right? Unlimited IT assessments, use it anywhere, configuration assessment, live result, configuration report, and all whatnot that are there. So you can use the trial version or you buy, right? Then the Nexus Professional also ideal for consultant, pen testers, and security professionals. You can see the features that they have there also. And you can use the trial version or you buy it, right? So whichever one, you still need to provide your information for that, right? Let's also look at our Kali Linux. I think it should come with Nexus. Let's see, but I think even if it comes with Nexus, it's just to lead us to their website, to the Nexus website. So let's try that here and see, clear the screen and then type Nexus. Okay, so Nexus is not a command, which means it didn't come with it, right? Let me see OpenVAS. Okay, so OpenVAS is recognized here, but cannot open or create log file. Please check permission of the log file, whatever. So the OpenVAS have this log file config. So I think that's why it's not opening. So maybe when we want to look at it, we will see how to get it running, OpenVAS. So it's another vulnerability scanner that hackers use, right? So let's go ahead with what we are doing. So if you want to get the trial version, let's say we are getting the trial version of the professional, for instance, try for 7 days, try Tenable software, whatever free, for 7 days. Let's see what they are saying. So you have to give them information about your name and your other details for them to give you, permission to try that, right? So let's see, try for 7 days, what you can do with it. Okay, but if you want to buy, so those of us that have the money to buy it, you see, it's about 4,000 or close to about $5,000 a year, right? So most times, you need to be having jobs, because even then, why I got it was because the organization, paid well, and that was why I had to go and buy it. Otherwise, you buy tools like this and you don't have these jobs coming, you tend to lose out of it. But it's actually a very nice tool that you can use to do all of your scanning. We are going to be setting it up to see how it works, right? So let's see if we can get our trial. So if you to get your trial, you have to give them information, because most of these organizations that give you trial, what they are doing is to gather your information too, right? So you give your information for the trial version. That's what they do most times. So, and most times they'll tell you to give a corporate, a corporate email address where they will send that information to. So you can go ahead and fill in the informations you need here. I think I have done this before, but I wouldn't do that again. Let me just check in my email if I have that before now. Nexus. I still have it so that we try to see how we can use that. So if you're trying to steal information from my email, please don't steal information from my email, right? So let's do that. Let's see Nexus. I still have Nexus. Okay, let's see if this can still work. So this is one of the ones I requested from them initially. Let's see. Or let's just go ahead and do a new one. Let's see if they'll still give us, license. So let's wait and see. So they say, please use a work email, right? Use a work email. And I don't have a work email to use. So please, those of you that have, a business email, please go ahead and use that. You'll get a copy of Nexus sent to that email for you. So you can use that. But I'll use the Tryhackme to, guide us straight, right? So come through the Tryhackme, go ahead. They're saying you should join the room, so go ahead and join the room since it's just to give you leverage on what to do, right? Join the room. It's still the same information you need. So you just click on complete. So that task is completed. So you go through your installation. You go through the installation. Say warning, do not install Nexus on the Tryhackme attack box. It will not work as there is no sufficient space, or other OS will not be covered in this walkthrough. In which case, the official installation guide can be found here. So you can click here to get the official installation file for Nexus. Otherwise, what they'll be showing us, the installation pattern they'll be showing us here is for Windows, right? So when you download your Nexus, you go ahead, follow the installation guideline and install it, right? Follow the installation guideline and install it. Let me see what they showed us here. If it is for Windows, it's just for you to run your normal installation, of, right? When you finish, when they send you the link, you go ahead, download it. So when you download it, you run the normal installation, just like we used to install. Let me see. I think, okay, I don't have it on this PC. But let's see how I can get that running. Let's see. Because they have to send a key to you that you will use. But let me still see if that link will still work, because it's actually an old link. So I have clicked on the link. For instance, if they send the link to you, if you click on download Nexus, this is what you will see, right? So you can just go ahead and view downloads to know what you want to download, right? So this is for Windows, which is my Windows. So I can go ahead and then download, agree, right? And then my download will start downloading, right? So let me download it, and then we can, after downloading, you can go ahead and run it, right? You can go ahead and run it. So that is how Nexus is being used. So it definitely is going to take a little more time for this download to be completed. So we will not look at this, please. So just go ahead, use your Tryhackme. It's actually free. The installation process is there. When you finish downloading, you just run it. All this part you are seeing, just leave it because this is for Linux, right? This is for Linux. So you come to this point. When you finish downloading, you double click on it to install. So it will install and you have this point, the desktop, just like this. So you make sure you check the Nexus Essential and then continue. So you can just follow the steps that are here. The activation code that will be sent to you, you copy it and drop there. Like this one that I am downloading, they sent me an activation code actually, right? So if you put in your email and whatever, they will send you an activation code like this. So you just copy the activation code and drop on that, drop here, then you continue until you get to the desktop, right? You put in a username that you'll be using to log into it, right? A username and password, then you initialize, and that is how you set up your Nexus. So when you set up Nexus, you will have something like this at first. So I want us to go ahead, try this on our own. By next class, definitely I should get this running on my PC, and then we can, go ahead and practice it. Because if you want to practice it here, definitely we can still do that. Let's say we go ahead and start the machine. This machine now has Nexus on it, right? Okay, they say I need either a VPN or something. Okay, let me use the attack box. Let's see. So we are trying to use this box so that let me just see how we can run the Nexus and show us what it is like. So just go ahead, normal installation, just like we normally install tools, right? So just go and install it. Let's wait for the machine to come up. So while the machine is coming up, you can see all of the features of Nexus. When you open the Nexus machine, you have several features. You can see for host discovery, download complete. Let's see. We open it, preparing to install. So, okay. Just like I told us, it's a normal installation. So I'm trying to install it so that I can run it from my machine directly for us. So this is just normal installation. When you download it, you open it, you start installing it until you finish installing, right? So let's wait. If whichever one comes first, we use them. If it comes up in the Tryhackme platform, we use it, right? Comes up here, we use it. But it's normal. It's just as simple as ABC. So follow the instructions, install it. So what we will be looking at mostly is all of these tools we are exposing us to. Please play around with them, but don't use them unethically. Play around with them, because even if somebody comes to your organization to carry out a penetration testing, these are the tools they will come with. But most times it is paid for, right? And that is why it appears to be a little bit expensive, right? So Nexus actually runs on your browser, right? But it runs as a local host. You can see it runs as a local host. So let's connect via SSL and then open this, proceed. So it is initializing. So it runs as a local host within within your system, right? So when it finished loading now, it does not have anything to do with the internet, right? So when it finished loading, you put in your pass key and you continue using it. So while we are waiting for that, let's see if our machine has finished loading. Okay, so our machine has finished loading. Let me split it again so that I can minimize this. Yeah. So let's see. Press enter to close. So this is, let's go ahead and let's see where's Nexus. So let's do this. Let's copy this IP address and then put it here. See. Okay, which is not it. That's not it. That's not it. Okay, let's look at the instructions they are giving us here. This is their installation. Okay, except we have to read through them. We'll know how to run this here. But let's see. Okay, let's use this and try and see. Let's use this address as the local host. Let's see. We can't get that. So we have to read through. Take your time and read through to understand what is there. But since we have ours coming up, let's register it offline. So we continue. So you can see the Nexus expert we're talking about, Nexus professional. So they have actually changed a little things here. So let's use Nexus professional. They're asking us to paste our license key. So if this license key is still active, I'll just take it and then paste it. But I don't think it will be active because they actually gave me the Nexus Essential license. But let's just go ahead and try, see if it works. Get a license key, visit offline registration site and enter the following challenge code. So we'll go to this place, enter this following challenge code, and they'll give us a license key. That's what they are saying. Let's see offline registration. Because I think that key wouldn't work there. So let's take this and drop there. Well, you know, depending on the information you get, your key, they might send you a key, right? But you know, I'm using an older information that was sent to me. Let's try it and see. So copy that and paste here, right? Then submit. Will not process request. So I think that is because it is old. Let's see, to generate a license for an older version of Nexus, click here. Run Nexus CLI fetch on your Nexus server and copy the result below. Enter your activation code below. I think I'll have to enter an activation code also. Let's see. Go ahead and do a new one actually. A license already in use. So I've already used this license on another PC. It's actually old. So please go ahead and get a new license. When you get that, just copy it, paste here. When you paste it, then you move on with it, right? So it comes to username and password, but I think they won't allow me use this. Let me just do this and create a password. So let me see, my password is this. So you see, they say license already in use, so they won't allow me use that. You can see activation failed because this license is actually old. So go ahead, create a new one, get a business email address, drop on that link on the website, and then get your Nexus, right? So that you can actually use that. Let's also see, maybe we have to read through the information they have here to see how we can set up Nexus on Tryhackme, right? To answer the question below, do not install Nexus on the Tryhackme box. Let me terminate this. Okay, let's go from here. So go to tenable.com, essential, Nexus essential, and register an account, right? You will need to do this for an activation code. So that's the first thing you need to do. Let's go ahead and do that. So step 2, they said, okay, we will then download the Nexus, just like the steps I've showed us. Save it to your download folder, right? So if you are downloading it, it comes in different forms. So you can download the amd64.dab, right? Then step 3, in the terminal, we will navigate to the folder and run the following command. Sudo dpackage-i. So this is for Linux actually, not for this machine. The platform, the Tryhackme machine, we have been asked not to install anything for them on them. So it is, on our Linux machine. For instance, I want to install it on my Linux machine. These are the steps I'll follow. I'll now download it, then depackage it, right? Then after that, I will enable the services. So you can see we will now start the Nexus service with the command sudo /bin/systemctl start nexus.service, right? Now that is for this thing, for your, what's it called? Your your platform, your Windows, your Linux machine rather. So open up Firefox and go to the URL this, which is what I have done. I didn't mean it is set up on that platform, then it will be working for us. Now you may be prompted with a security risk alert. Click advance and accept the risk, just like I did. That loaded the the Nexus for me, and you just do this. Next, we will set up the scanner. Select the Nexus Essential, right? Initially, it was Essential, Professional, but like you saw now, they now have experts. So you just take your time, go through it, and install it. But it's just the same process. Clicking the skip button will bring up to the page where you put your activation code, right? Then fill out the username and password fields, just like I did. So if you create new ones, then it will be that's your username and password. Nexus will now install the plugins as required. So you go ahead and install the plugins as required. Then it will now prompt you to log in with that username and password you created, right? So when you log in, you now have the Nexus interface, just like we have here. So just follow through and complete this, download it and install it. Those of us that have, business email, because you need a business email to do this. When I mean business email, like an official email, right? To actually get that. Like I told you, you are giving them your information for, a trial version, but actually it is worth it, so that you practice all that we have learned so far. And if you look at all of the tasks here, there are no, they don't actually need answers, just for you to follow the steps that are here. And if you follow that, you notice that, okay, you have successfully passed that task, right? So when you pass that task and you get to this point, this is how the Nexus interface looks like, right? This is how it looks like for host discovery. You want to discover the hosts that are connected to that network. You want to do a basic network scan, an advanced scan, a malware scan. So a lot of things, almost all the things you want to do you can do it here. You want to drown detection, bash shell lock detection, and so many other things. So they are all here for you to do, right? So what is the name of the button which is used to launch a scan, right? It will be the scan button, right? By the time you log into your Nexus now, you will see that button there. You will see that button there, right? So that is how Nexus is installed and used. That is how Nexus is installed and used. So what we will do is to go ahead, download Nexus, install it during the week. Everybody must have done that, so you can share with me. If you have challenges, we can help you out and make sure you succeed in doing that. So we want to end the class here today. I believe we have been able to explain, two learning paths or two major things for us today. We have been able to show us two major stuffs today that we can easily, play around with